Good day, everyone. My name is Chima Koli, and this is the Extra Time Stories with Chima. And what we basically do is we are looking out for grassroots sports stories, sports themed stories that can lead us into insights both for development as a nation and as a continent, as it were, the African continent to be specific, and also paths, alternative paths, and things that we can do differently. So we are this is an intergenerational dialogue. We dialogue with people who have been there for years. We dialogue with people who tell stories also with people who are just coming up and who are at the very beginning of their careers. And so today we have our very esteemed guest. I will just let him introduce himself and give us a background to what he has done thus far in and around the sports industry. Sir, over to you.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Mr. Chima. It's a privilege to be on your platform. My name is Richard Olawole Oni. I've been a football marketer and a sport marketer for a long while now. I'm also a writer. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm also a minister in the vineyard of the Lord. So basically, I like to tell people that I've been a sport person all my life. And by the special grace of God, I've been a sport consultant as well. But if you ask me to give a background, a little about my background, I would say that I was privileged to be born into a circle of people who love sports. You know, I grew up meeting uncles and aunties. A lot of them lived with my parents, and I was fortunate to have uncles who studied physical education in one of the colleges of education around me in Ekiti State then. So I saw a lot of them playing hockey, playing basketball. So I naturally grew up in a sporting setting. Unknown to those uncles, during the World Cup in 1986, you know, as a young boy, I would sit down with them to watch the matches then. Unconsciously, that sports acumen in me just, started growing from there. I started liking football. I started liking sports. I never really grasped what I was learning through that process then. But gradually, my love for football started growing, very well. By 1987, I could relate very well with the Nigerian under-20 team, playing under-20 in Mexico. I could identify a lot of the players in the Nigerian under-20 team. By 1989, when Nigeria went for the under-20 in Saudi Arabia, I could name all the players in the team with their numbers, corresponding numbers. I watched virtually all their matches from the beginning. There was an instance I could remember. That was, I think, the second match that Nigeria had to play against Czechoslovakia then. I was down with malaria, and so I was given a tip. I was supposed to be in bed, on bed rest. But because of my love for football, I wanted to watch that last match because Nigeria needed a draw to qualify for the second round. So my uncles and my mom then said, "Oh, don't mind him, he will sleep off while watching the match." They were surprised that despite being on a sedative, I watched the match to the very end. And towards the tail end of the match, Nigeria equalized to earn a point to qualify. I was overjoyed. And so it's been like a gradual thing for me. And after the under-20, Nigeria won the silver in Saudi 89. I think the most memorable match in that tournament was the Nigeria versus Russia match, where Russia was leading us 4-0. 15 minutes before the end of the match, Nigeria came back, scoring 4 goals. The match was tied at 4-4. Eventually, actually went to penalties and Nigeria won on penalty. It was a memorable moment. That was like the moment that sealed my love for football. It sealed my love for football forever. And so when the under 17 of that 1989 came, I was in Scotland in 1989. I followed the under 17 team till we got to quarterfinal. We also crashed out via penalty shootout to Saudi Arabia. So, it has been like, I just love football.
Wow,
and luckily for me, I have an uncle who came to live with the family to around 1988. He's the one that now introduced me to football administration and football management. He started coaching the football team I founded as a young boy.
wow.
So he named the club
team as a young boy.
Yes, in 1988.
What age? Can you help us have an idea of what age you were?
That was I was around 8 or 9 years old when I founded the team.
What? You were around what?
9 years.
8 or 9 years.
In 1980. Yes, in 1988.
Wow. And you founded
I was in primary 4.
You were in primary 4 and you founded a football team.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. That's wow. That's all I can say. Wow.
So all credit to my uncle. He's a missionary now. His name is Niyi Owolabi.
Wow. Shout out to Mr. Niyi Owolabi. It's great to see. Wow. At 8 years in primary 4.
Yes.
Wow.
He that's the man that make a magnitude of impact in my life that I will never forget.
Wow.
He took sport he took me from being somebody who loves sport as a spectator to become an insider. When I founded the football club, I didn't have a name for it. Myself, my immediate younger brother, those are the members of the team. My immediate younger brother, two of my distant cousins. Then my father was a principal at that time in a secondary school, and I have to invite the children of the teachers that will live in the same school compound, because it's a very large school compound, very large. The principal has an official quarter, the teachers have their official quarters. So I invited the children of the other teachers, and so they became part of the team. So I founded the football club. We started playing actively. Then my uncle, Mr. Niyi Owolabi, now sat me down. He's the one that gave structure to the football club. So he named it Youngster Coach Club.
Youngsters Coach Club, okay.
Yes, Youngsters Coach Club. A lot of us were young. He became our coach, and so there was education being passed on. So he started teaching us the rudiments of football. We were not just playing football. He would pick us in the evening, take us to the practice pitch, started taking us from rudiments of football, how to trap the ball, how to stop the ball in its full momentum, and more than that, he started teaching me administration and management. What we do back then, what we used to do is, as part of member of the football club, you are supposed to contribute a stipend to run the club. So in those days, 50 kobo, everybody will contribute 50 kobo. They will hand the money over to me for safekeeping. So I will record the contribution. Then we will assign it to a particular team to advance the club. Maybe to buy our football boots. In those days, we could not afford leather football boots, so we used to buy rubber football boots.
Okay.
So we buy rubber football boots, or we buy the ball itself. We started by buying all those, the normal football for children. But we discovered that one, wind used to toss that one around here and there. We could not have full control. So my uncle now advised us that if we want to get a very good ball, as at that time there's what they call Wembley Regulation 4, and it was very
Can
expensive.
you say it again?
There's a particular brand of football they call Wembley Regulation 4.
Okay, Wembley Regulation 4.
Yes, it was quite expensive then. We have to contribute a lot to be able to buy that particular one. But when we bought it, we were very joyous because we could control that particular ball. Wing does not toss it around unlike the previous one we've been using. So that was when our football knowledge started. So that my uncle taught me.
The previous ball you were using, was it Felele?
They call it Felele. God bless you, sir. It's the one they call Felele. You know, you will shoot the ball, wind will toss it from the person you intend to pass it to another person.
Yes.
Yes, until we were able to get Wembley Regulation 4. That was when we started enjoying football. But it came at a very huge cost. Because when we bought Wembley Regulation 4, there was no money left as of the club. So, that was how, you know, have a good grasp of football at that level. The next thing is the competition, because having found a football club, we could not play within ourselves. We have to start, you know, inviting other children clubs from the area, the other teams to come and play with us. And in those days, that's why I used to tell people, all the concept of bet did not just start now. We started it way back then.
Wow, you
1989.
had a betting system back then.
Yes. We contribute, myself and my teammates, we contribute our own money. The other team that we want to play with, we contribute their own money. On match day.
That's why talking with people like you is so important, because I'm as I am right now, I'm flabbergasted, I'm mind blown. I just want to run and shout, yay! Because you said when you were 8, what? 8 years old. What? Then now look at it, you are now telling us that back then in the 1980s there was even betting, and betting amongst children. Hey.
Yes, amongst children. Oh you know, we will come with our own money, the other team will come with their own money. We'll give it to a neutral person, maybe possibly if an elderly person comes to watch our match, we'll give it to the elderly person to hold, and it's a kind of winner takes it all. We play the match, and the elderly person will be the referee, and whichever team won the match takes all the money.
Wow.
So the competition, you know, is fierce.
This is a whole lot to unpack. So with this, I don't think that with the time that we have today, we'll be able to unpack a whole lot of things. But with this part of your story now, permit me to just to ask a few more questions, so that we put this in context. And after this edition is published, I believe we'll have you all again next month. I'll have you again the month after that. At least
I'll be glad to be on your platform every now and then.
3 different episodes, right? So I want to ask you.
Yes, I'll be glad.
Thank you so much. You said you served Baltimore in your A's and all of those things. Let's even get back to your falling in love with football and watching the matches. What were some of the stars that my generation, you know, I'm way younger than you are. What are some of the stars that came out of that 1980s under 20 team that won silver and these under 17s? So what are some of the stars, the Super Eagles stars that we know? At least, or basically all stars.
Okay. If I may start with the 1989 under 20 team. You know, the team had 2 great goalkeepers. We have Amadi Emeka, and we also have August Ekeji. Those are the 2 goalkeepers that were rotating. That Coach Tunde Dizu rotated throughout that competition. He didn't have a fixed number 1. So he rotated between Amadi Emeka and August Ekeji. So
how are you able to
the captain of the team for the under?
How are you able to remember these things?
Because then I used to do a kind of I have this kind of competition and I put myself into them. When a Nigerian team is going for a competition,
Okay.
I will memorize the name of the entire team from number 1 to number 18 or number 22 as the case may be.
Wow.
So I used to form a rhyme around that kind of a thing.
Oh, can you imagine? So you used pedagogy and memory tips, memory exercises like
Yes.
that. Wow. Wow, that's
Yes.
huge. Okay, sir. So you were talking about the captain of the team.
Yeah, the captain of the team was Bawa Abdullahi.
Okay.
You know, that was the team where we have people like Christopher Ohehe,
Okay.
Jimo Balogun,
Okay.
Mutiwade Poju Dead Master,
Okay.
Dimeji Lawa,
Okay.
Philip Osondu.
Okay.
I think I've mentioned Jimo Balogun.
Yes, you have.
You know, that's the team. We also have the captain of the under 17 team that won the maiden edition of the World Cup in China in 1985.
Okay.
Nduka Ugbade is also part of the 1989 under 20 team. Nduka Ugbade.
Okay.
So, you know, a whole lot of them. But the person who now became prominent in that team, who really achieved full star status, is Mutiu Adepoju.
Okay. I think I've heard the name.
Yes, because after that 1989 under 20 World Cup, Mutiu Adepoju moved from Shooting Stars in Ibadan to Racing Santander in Spain. So, and eventually he played for the Super Eagles. Then for the under 17 in 1989, we have people like Shegun Fetuga, Victor Ikpeba. It's Victor Ikpeba, Benedict Akwegu. But from that team, it's only Benedict Akwegu and Victor Ikpeba that eventually moved on to become notable players in the Super Eagles.
Okay, sir. So I would ask, then, thank you so much for mentioning some names. To be honest, I am overly amazed. And for those of you listening, these conversations and these stories are stories that are told on the spot. So it's not like our guests have to go and prepare. We just ask them honest questions that come out from the things that we are talking about, right? And so, sir, at that period, right? Can you do a comparative analysis of what grassroots football used to be in primary, secondary schools and what it is today? Because it is sad. After I worked with the sports apprentice a bit, Mr. Emeka Nyadike.
Okay.
I don't know if you know him.
I've heard that name before.
Yeah, so he was on TV he was one of the
Oh yes,
biggest,
he used to be a TV host.
Yes. Then for sports, he has this. He had this magazine, this sports magazine that he did. He launched both in South Africa and here in Nigeria. It's just Kickoff.
Okay.
Kickoff.
Kickoff. Yeah.
So he's the owner of Kickoff magazine. And so I worked with him a bit. We part of the project, some of the things that we did when we worked on was interviewing the first Super Eagles set. Is it the 94 set now that went to the World Cup?
Yeah, the 94 set, yeah.
Were they called Green Eagles or Super Eagles then? Were they Green Eagles?
Super Eagles.
Super Eagles, okay. But I know it was Green Eagles before it became Super Eagles. And
yes.
And so a lot of the players that we had interviewed and we asked for their stories. One of the very important things was that they came from teams like this one that you have set up. A lot of them were scouted from secondary schools and primary schools, as it were. They went around, they played different competitions and the like.
Yes.
I need you. What do you see as the grassroots? What's your perception of grassroots sports development, since you are majorly focused on football, what do you see as regards grassroots of football grassroots development here in Nigeria now, and versus what it used to be then? And yeah, let me just allow
Okay,
you answer so that I don't put my own biases there. So I just learn.
okay. You see, when I look around Nigeria now, it is disheartening that the current system we have is a far cry from what we used to have back then. You know, in the 80s, if you want to become, as a youngster, that you aspire to become a great person, there are two key places that you look at critically as a youngster. Number one is that I want to become a footballer.
Okay.
The number two things that you want to be an army officer.
Why
Those are the two areas. Okay, because the system then encourage your talent to thrive in those two areas. If you are an exceptionally talented footballer, and it's easy for you to be recognized and be picked in any of the developmental competitions,
Okay.
and you can realize your dream of playing for Nigeria. It's a lot easier back then.
Okay.
Then if you want to go to the defense academy, then it's a lot easier.
Because of your ability to
Unlike
play
what we-
sports.
Yes, just because of your skill.
Okay, so let me tell a little story myself. Last year I
All
was
right.
at the Olusegun Obasanjo Leadership Center, OPL Presidential Leadership Center, right? We're in Abeokuta, and I mean,
Okay.
credit to Baba. Baba is a phenomenon. As it were, Baba
Yeah.
is just I mean, even at his age, for every single time that he spoke to us and all of those things, two things stood out for me. Number one is a person of principle. So he's a person of
Yeah.
principles. He's just a principled person. From just your interaction, you will know that this person is a person of principle. He doesn't dilly dally around the things that he wants. He knows what he wants, and he kind of has rules on how to get what he gets. I mean, he came in the middle of the night, and not in the middle of the night, early in the morning, and we did a road walk for God knows almost an hour thereabout. And young people were fainting, not fainting physically, but they've not walked for that long. But
Yeah.
Baba carried us, so he stood in front, and we were walking, and we walked around the OPL, the center. We came out, we walked around again, and we came back, and it's a normal thing for him. It's an everyday occurrence for him, and I mean, there's nothing that screams principle and discipline more than that. I saw someone in his 90s do that. Forget all the whole sports and bodybuilding goals. That is my inspiration, right? That's one.
Yeah.
The second important thing is that he's very cerebral. He's mentally sharp.
That's true.
He's sharp. He's cerebral. I don't think you can come and just bamboozle him with any type of thing. He's mentally sound. That's by the way. But one thing that I noticed when we went for the tour inside the museum there at the center is that he has not been ashamed to talk about the fact that sports was one of those things that set him apart, both from secondary school and in the military. And I wouldn't say I'm shocked, but yeah, it's just dawning on me that you are talking about, if you are a skillful sports person or you want to do something around the sport, you can go into the military or maybe look for those competitions, and it just makes a whole lot of sense. Because in the library, there are accolades that he won in sporting activities way from primary or secondary school. I can't remember exactly, but way from there before the military. And it's heartwarming, and it's also very sad-ish. I mean, when you look at what the options are for young people today, it's just sad. But this is to say that our military also prioritized. It's shocking to know that for people who are of this our generation, that the Nigerian military at some point prioritized people who were outliers in sports, or who had the potential to be outliers in sports. I don't think
That's true.
that's
That's true.
I don't think that's one of the things that people who are inclined to sports today can even imagine, that the military is a great place for them. But I mean, clearly he was written there on the wall that the fact that he was an astute sportsman stood him out and made him even have leadership. Yeah, I remember correctly. Made him have leadership opportunities even amongst his mates. And hello, sir. Oh, and made him even have leadership opportunities amongst his mates and the people that. Yes, sir. Are you back?
Hello. Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
I can
Yes.
hear you now.
So, I was saying that the fact that he was an exceptional athlete as he were, I really don't know. I really don't even now know what exactly he did. I think he ran. I don't, but I heard he was very sporting, and I asked a lot of people. He was very sporting, and I asked a lot of guides there about it. And so he wrote it there in the museum that whole his sporting advantage, it gave him an advantage in the military, and was one of the things that helped him also have leadership potential. And I mean, truly looking back, sports, especially team sports or sports in general, very few things build a person's leadership potential like sports, because you just it just exposes you to yourself and to other people.
Yes, that's true.
And to other people. Yeah. So, sir, back to you. You said the competition and the military, but we've spoken about the military. I think that will be a whole different conversation. We may get someone, if we can get someone also from the military as of then, to basically talk about this. It will be great. Maybe we'll also have you on the call, so we just have this intergenerational talk as regards to what was then, so that youngins like us, like myself, can understand Nigeria's history a lot better with people who were there and who know way better as regards to what happened then. So, what of the competitions? What were some of the competitions that young people had to look out for?
Okay. The competitions were enormous, starting from the primary to the secondary. But let me pick it, because it's not restricted to the competitions at the primary and secondary levels alone. The primary level, you have what they call the normal inter-school competitions, and they organize it at the local government level. And my first lesson in discipline came in the football competition at the primary school level. I couldn't make the first 11 of my school football team.
A whole you who started the club.
Yes, I have in all honesty, I said as of primary school level, I could not make the first 11 of my primary school football team.
Okay. I said you that started the football
club.
Yes, so can you walk us through
what
happened?
What actually happened was that we had guys that were taller and bulky more than myself.
Okay.
And so, as of that level, the school we were playing with had lots of tall and bulky footballers.
Okay.
And the reason why our selection was like that was because we didn't have a sport teacher in my school.
Okay.
The sport teacher was transferred, so we were left on our own to choose our team by ourselves. And in that kind of situation where you have carcass, and even at that level, the person who was the captain preferred to pick the bulky guys. Okay. But because I was the head prefect of the school, the head teacher delegated me to be the head of the delegation to lead the entire team to that football match. um, fortunate enough, my late head teacher, Mrs. Oluyede, happens to be the mother of the current chief of defense staff in the country.
Wow.
So, a very disciplined woman. She's late now, may God rest her soul.
Yeah, may God rest her soul.
So, but when we went for the competition, that was the first match of the competition. We got there, and my school scored an early goal, and so we won the match. But the mistake we made during the match was that we had a classmate who happens to be the most talented footballer in my primary school then.
Okay.
But he dropped out of school at primary 5.
Okay.
So he came to watch the match on the match day. We were leading 1-0. He came to watch the match. And we felt like,
he should just come and
he's
play.
our classmate. He should just come and play.
Aye.
We never knew the other school knew that he had dropped out in primary 5.
Oh.
They came with their sports teacher. We didn't have a sports teacher. So we included Kennedy. We call him Kennedy.
Okay.
We introduced him in the second half so that we could win the match easily. And we were leading 1-0. So he played the match with us to the very end. And on getting back to school, because I led the delegation, the head teacher, Mrs. Oluyede, came to my class, called me out, took me to her office, and I can never forget in my life, that was my first lesson in football. She spanked me several strokes of the cane without explaining to me what happened.
Wow.
Because the Oluyede family and my family, we are family friends. So I was forced to ask for explanation. Now, Mommy, what did I do? She told me that she appointed me the head of delegation to the match. Because we did not have a sports teacher, she expects me to effect the substitutions and to control the team.
Okay.
That I allowed other people to dictate for me.
Wow.
And I allowed Kennedy to play the match, and we were disqualified from the competition.
Wow.
So when I got home that day, I narrated the issue to my dad. My dad had to, my dad sat down with me. We wrote a letter. We had to apologize to the headmistress, apologize to the organizers of the competition. So they now review the case and ask us to come back for a rematch.
Okay.
So we went for the rematch. Unfortunately, the other team beat us 1-0.
Aye.
So that was my first lesson in discipline.
And sports administration.
So
that was
and sport administration.
that's sports administration at the most basic grassroots level. Wow.
Yes. So that's at a personal level, though. So, but what I learned at that primary school level, my primary school haven't been ousted from the competition. I now started, watching the matches of the other primary schools that were still in the competition.
So let me ask, was this what class were you in now, for context for us?
I was in primary 6 at that level.
Okay, so you had run your club also for like 2 years?
Yes.
Okay.
I was in primary 6. That was like now 1990.
Okay.
So, because the primary school I attended is centrally located.
Okay.
So most of the other matches were played on our school field.
Oh, interesting.
So
you had a front
So one
seat
amazing
view.
thing, yes, I have a vantage point to watch the other schools playing.
Okay.
So, to keep myself in the tournament, I have to just find another interest around that competition. So the interest is, I kind of, started looking out for other exceptionally talented players that were playing for other schools.
Okay. So that's like scouting.
Like scouting. So apart from the administration and discipline lessons I've gotten already, I also started scouting at that early stage. So I now identify a whole lot of them until the competition got to the final. And the same scenario that was applicable in my environment at that primary level was what was applicable nationally as of that time. Primary schools will play at local government level. The school that wins the competition will progress to the state level, representing that particular local government at the state level. And when you play at the state level and the winner emerges, there is an association then, I don't know if you have ever heard of them. They call it Youth Sport Federation of Nigeria. USFON.
No, I don't think I have. Are they still in existence today?
Okay. What USFON does is that they will pick talented footballers at that primary.
You said
Youth Federation of Nigeria, USFON.
Youth Federation of Nigeria.
Youth Sport Federation of Nigeria, USFON.
Youth Sports Federation of Nigeria. Okay, I would.
Youth Sport Federation of Nigeria.
Youth Sports Federation of Nigeria. Wow, I don't think I've heard it.
Yeah, USFON. Yeah, you have officials of USFON scouting for talent at that early stage. So when they identify any exceptionally talented football player, there's tendency for that player to be moved to the USFON team to get groomed properly.
Wow. So I just looked.
So,
sir, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I just looked them up, and this is what AI is telling me. The AI overview is the Youth Sports Federation of Nigeria, YSFON. YesFON is the country's oldest grassroots sports non-profit. The Youth Sports Federation of Nigeria, YesFON, Kwara State Capital, established in 1965. Wow. Youth Sports Federation of Nigeria, it operates across all 36 states and the FCC to discover and nurture young talent in football, athletics, and other sports. Wow, I don't think,
exactly.
I don't think this is. I don't know what they are doing, but I can tell you that very few people know about them. I think there's something that the current President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, did something around the national under 18 boys peace soccer tournament. Gawuna announces his former president. Okay, so I would have to look around this and maybe get someone who is around the federation.
Okay.
They have a president. I think the National Sports Commission Chairman Sheo Diko met with the Youth Fund president, from what I can see online, in February 2025. I really need to look at it because they need to wake up, and they need to wake up and get to do things. It's very important that some of these ancient landmarks be restored, because right now it just feels like if your developmental process is not out there, or if you don't even play in Europe, you may not be able to play for the Nigerian national. If you don't play outside of Nigeria, you may not be able to play for the Super Eagles.
It's part of the problem we are having now, sir. The structure that sustained the pipeline that helped Nigeria to produce exceptionally talented footballer has been forgotten and ignored totally. They are virtually non-existent now. USFON used to be part of them. Like I said, at primary level, USFON will pick the exceptionally talented player, groom them. So it's not only that you are talented, it's one thing for you to be talented, it's another thing for you to be transformed to a properly groomed footballer. So USFON we take those kinds of players, put them together, form a team out of youth from different parts of country, organize them. That USFON team now became a larger pool for the under 17 recruitment.
Okay.
You understand? So by the time those players move from primary school, they transcend to secondary school. USFON will keep track of their progress. Eventually, when it is time to pick the under 17 team, larger pool of players that will eventually make it to under 17 team usually come from USFON, because normally the under 17 coach during scouting will come to the USFON team, look around, and it is usually heartwarming to know that there is a grant that has prepared people down already. They are almost, finished products, and the under 17 coach will be able to take them and give them further grooming to fit into the under 17 team, and also maybe get some other players that will also fit into the team. We have neglected the structure, the pipeline that produces, the products that gave Nigeria fame in the 80s. The under 17 we won in 1985. Under 20 we won the bronze medal in 1985. In 1987 we won the bronze medal in under 20. In 1989 we got to quarter final in under 17. We won the silver in under 20. You could move on and count them like that. But these days, what have we won? At under 17, what is our achievement? At under 20, what is our achievement? We have neglected the structure that gave us those players at primary level, at secondary level, at youth fund level. The pipeline is no longer there. Even if it's there now, like you said, if it's still there, they are not what they used to be. So, at the primary level, the competition is there. At the secondary level, principal cup is there. If I can transcend from primary school to secondary school, because at a point I discovered that a lot of footballers, I started admiring a lot of footballers I began to see at secondary school level as well. And, funny enough too, I was close to my teacher, to my sports teacher at secondary level. So I was instrumental to be part of the administrators too, because I didn't also make it to the first 11 of the school football team at secondary level. So, I was like kind of administrator.
So you were not a footballer. You have always, the administration, the back end has always called you.
The lesson that now moved me from that level to become a very good footballer at a stage did not come at that early stage.
Oh, okay.
It came when I've graduated from secondary school.
Okay, so let's keep it back to secondary. Let's deal with your primary and secondary school journey. At this point. The next time we'll talk maybe post secondary school.
Okay. So the graduation is that some of the players I identified at the primary level, fortunately for me, became my classmates at secondary level.
Oh, okay.
Especially in school I attended in GSS 1.
Okay.
My GSS 1, I attended a school called Annunciation Boys School in Ikere. It's in Ekiti State.
Is the school still functional?
Oh, yes. It's an all-boys school. It's in Annunciation Boys High School.
Annunciation Boys High School, Ikere, Ekiti.
Yes, okay. Yes. And when you attend Annunciation Boys School, sport is a critical thing for you.
Okay.
So when I was in GSS 1, I met some of the talent I early identified at primary level. We were even in the same class, so it was easy for me to relate to them. So unknown to me, I started interviewing them, as classmates.
Oh, okay.
One party, the guy that won the competition at that level, that was instrumental to his team winning that competition. Unfortunately, the guy is late now. His name is Aliu Latif.
Wow, may God rest his soul.
Amen. So I became friends with him, and he was able to, tell me how they progressed from the first stage to eventually winning the competition. So, but I also left that school in GSS 1. I now moved to another school, Unity Secondary School, where I met my very good friend, Sheige.
Okay, so you met Sheige at Unity Secondary School?
Yes, at Unity Secondary School, correct.
You were classmates?
Yes, we were classmates.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
But we became very good friends from SS1 to SS3.
Oh, okay.
And what attracted me to Sheyi is that while I was discussing my vision and my idea about sports with him, and I was, playing football, I've gotten to know about football in Europe as at that early stage. Sheyi is somebody that encouraged me. For instance, I like geography a lot. I used to have maps in my locker.
Wow, that's very interesting. What
So I used to
what
tell
what did
him
you study? What did you end
I,
up
I
studying?
studied business administration.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm a geographer. We call ourselves jokers. I'm a joker. I studied geography and environmental
Well,
management in
my,
my
my
in my bachelor's.
okay,
So yeah, I
okay.
love
My
maps.
dad studied geography too in University of Lagos.
Oh, okay, that's
So
why you have a lot of maps.
yes, so naturally, you see atlas and maps in our house is like a common thing.
Yeah.
But relating it to football, because I started reading newspaper at a very early stage.
Okay.
In those days, when my dad sends me to go and buy newspaper, the first part I will read, flip to the back page, and I will read sports. I will read football stories.
Okay.
So normally for me, even as at my JSS2, if you ask me about any Nigerian player, I can tell you the club they play for in Europe. So trying to also familiarize myself with their location in Europe, how we go to the map to go and locate the town in which the club of those Nigerian players resides. So, it became a very fascinating team with me and Sheyi then. Sheyi will hold the map for me.
So he was the one. He was the one that hold the mic for you, map for you.
He will hold the map for me, and I will tell him I want to play for Ajax Amsterdam. Sheyi will say, "Oh, come and see Amsterdam on the map." I want to play for AC Milan. Sheyi will say, "Oh, come and see Milan on the map." So it became like a kind of,
So you will form some level
I
of
will say,
bonding.
yes, because if you look at Sheyi today, by the special grace of God, Sheyi is a renowned broadcaster.
Okay. Yes.
In fact, maybe in subsequent edition, you will realize the impact he also played in my life, becoming a notable football person.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. That means for those of us young people, we have to get our own Sheyi gaze in our lives because we we need somebody to hold the map for
You know,
us.
if you also study physics, you know what they call the law of sympathetic resonance.
I didn't study physics, but yes, I studied physics, but no, if you can.
If I say it in a layman's language, if you have two pianos in the
Okay.
same room
Okay.
and you hit a key C on one of them,
Okay.
if you go to the other piano, that same key C will be vibrating
Okay.
because they are on the same frequency.
They are on the same frequency. You riddle me this a bit. You said you studied business administration. Why are you all
Yes.
sympathetic resonance in physics?
Okay, Sheyi happens to be like somebody who motivates me, unknown to him.
Okay.
It's like he motivates me to want to,
So when he listens to this will be the first time he knows he's hearing this part.
He's a motivator in a way.
Okay.
He's a huge influence in my life
Okay.
because he has, even as a secondary school level, he has a level of experience in broadcasting by virtue of his own relationship with other broadcasters in broadcasting industry as at that time.
Wow. So he had already begun. It's one of the sad things. I would say this as a story. So there's a young man in my area who came to meet me and said he wanted to study something around architecture or agri extension, and he wasn't so sure, or agri engineering, but his dad is an engineer. And I told him to go meet his dad. His dad is a pastor and an engineer, and I told him go meet his dad. That one of the best ways, I think it's in SS1 or SS2 now, one of the best ways to actually get a little more clarity is to talk with some of the people who are actively doing the thing that you want to do and ask them the most honest, basic, and if possible, foolish questions, so that he has a clear understanding of what he's going into, and then he can make the choice. And I I I think last week I had reached out to him, and he said he hasn't told his dad. He's not so sure. His dad is also an engineer, and I told him, no, you don't need to take engineering advice for your dad. You are too close, and you can
Yeah, that's true.
be penalized for not taking
For
the
not
ideas.
liking that field.
Yes, so don't do that. Ask him. You guys attend the picture. There are people who, and he also knows some people who do some things that he wants to do. So tell him that you want to have, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes discussions, and you basically just ask these people questions. And this is you telling me now that Mr. Sheige had relationships in secondary school with other people who were broadcasters. Honestly, this is amebo for those of us who are not Nigerian, that will listen, that are listening to this voice, that are listening to this our podcast, right? So amebo means gossip, hot gossip. So when I met him, I didn't know. In my mind, I thought he had studied mass communication and stuff.
Mass com.
It was
I don't think so.
after how many years? 3-4 years. It was this year that I knew that he studied, was it microbiology and all of that. And I screamed, and I'm still screaming. I'm like, how? So riddle me this. How did he? Do you have an idea how he had some of those relationships with journalists in his time?
I think, at times, providence and destiny bring some people, your path will just cross theirs when destiny and providence cross.
And nobody could.
So I think,
sir, please give me a minute. And nobody could notice that all that providence and things were happening was supposed to push him towards that mass communication and get him to study those things properly. Okay, I think it's a question that only him can answer.
he eventually attended a professional training in broadcasting.
Okay.
But then, looking back now, if we had had proper guidance, maybe we would have been advised to choose better. So, we are not talking about football alone now. We are talking about education and football now at grassroots level.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
think guiding and counseling as of our time is something that was actually missing.
I don't think it's there now. I still don't think we have got.
It's still not there now.
In Nigeria,
we have not gotten it right
where
now.
Young people are guided right, because I mean we are not there. We are just not there.
We are not there yet. So for Sheyi, I think destiny just brought some people along his path who happens to be people who are also close to his family, who live in the same area with them as of that time, who happens to be neighbors. So that because I could recall when we were in secondary school, he appeared on a very prominent show on TV in Ondo State back then. Ekiti State used to be part of Ondo State back then.
Okay.
He appeared on a very prominent show. The show is called Ori.
Odun Ori.
Ogbon Ori.
Ogbon Ori. Okay, I don't know what that is.
Yes, literally translated, task your brain.
Okay,
you are asked
brain.
3 tasking questions. Task your brain. You are asked 3 tasking questions. If you answer the 3 correctly, you win a good prize.
Okay.
So Sheyi went for Ogbon Ori.
Ogbon Ori. Okay.
Yes. So Sheyi went for the program.
Did he win?
He won. He won a lantern then, a school lantern.
He won a school lantern. Wow.
Yeah, that was when he came. When school resumed after him going for that program. That was where he earned the name MC Lantern.
Oh, okay.
So the anchor of that program happens to be a notable person in the broadcasting industry who was close to him. So I think that would be one of his influence in that industry.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's
And so indirectly, Sheyi was my link to some other people who were notable sport personnel in that same television station as of then.
oh, okay.
And the man is also late now. Ayo Ogedengbe.
Oh, God rest
It's
his
late
soul.
now. Amen. So
Was he a national broadcaster at some point?
no, he was a notable broadcaster in Ondo State of Ondo of those days.
The name
He's the man.
sounds
He's the one
familiar.
that presents. Yes, he presents midweek sports and sports on Saturdays. You know, unlike now that you present sport every day. Those days, sport program is only twice a week. Wednesday midweek sport from 10:30 to 11:30. Then on Saturday in the evening, starting from 4 to around 6. Those were the mega time allocated to sports. And being an adept lover of sport and football, during holidays and during break, I don't miss any edition of midweek sports. I don't miss any edition of the sport program on Saturday. So, you know, Mr. Ayo Ogedengbe became another idol for me. So, you know, let me go back to the grassroots so I will not deviate totally. When you now move to secondary school, talents are identified from principal's cups too. From principal cup, if you win at your level, for instance, my secondary school team won the principal cup in 1996. And the school team now, when you win in your local government, you also go ahead to go and play the team that win the same competition in other local governments. So it's an avenue for youth fund to also pick talents into the existing pool of the youth fund talents. So my team did not win the competition at the state level, but we won it at the local government level, and we met several other secondary school teams who were better than our own team. We eventually crashed out. But you know, my point is just so that you understand this thing at a national scale. Any team that win at the state level, we now go ahead to represent that state at the national level.
Oh my God! So there was a very interesting organized system that there was a pipeline. There was a genuine pipeline.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, you know, at the national level, by the time you play it at the national level, you will get to see the best of the best. That's why it was very easy for me to relate with people like the late Stephen Keshi. Because eventually when I moved to Lagos, you know, I wanted to know more about grassroots football. Fortunately for me, I lived in Yaba in Lagos. The street where I live is not that far from St. Finbar's College, which is the school the late Stephen Keshi attended at secondary level.
I think there's a book that is written about it. Don't worry, I think there's a book that other people have to do something around JAM, around the St. Finbar's. Yeah, just continue.
Yeah, St. Finbar's is a notable school that has produced a lot of football talents for Nigeria.
Oh, interesting.
So the late Stephen Keshi was discovered at St. Finbar's College. He was drafted from the principal cup team of St. Finbar's College that won in Lagos State then, and also went to the national level. I didn't know the level they got to when they went for the nationals, but to just illustrate the points of, you know, the developmental structure we have at primary and at secondary level then. No, Stephen Keshi is a product of St. Finbar's, and he was drafted into one of the under-8 team at the national level, and he became a professional football player from that stage on. He was later signed by NNB Football Club, or is it NNB Football Club of Benin, that eventually transcended into Bende Insurance.
Wow. Okay, sir.
So at a very early stage, yeah.
So for time's sake, because we are just a little behind time, what would you advise?
Okay.
What would you advise As regards, I believe this pipeline is still replicable today, although it's going to be very tricky because of the billion and one private schools that we have. I mean, billion and one schools that we have, not just in private school, across
Yeah.
across the nation. But it's still a pipeline that can still work.
Yes, sir. It's still a pipeline that we can see. Let me see if we can revitalize that structure and that system. Back then, all those competitions were initiative of the Ministry of Education
Okay.
to encourage youths to actively take part in sports and in football.
Okay.
Growing up then, if I may speak of my primary school days, growing up then, it is a common thing for you to see people with student teachers being posted to primary schools from the colleges of education to come and do their teaching practice.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes.
So one part of the curriculum then is that while they are teaching us the subjects in class, there's a time allocated for sports.
Okay.
The student teachers will bring us out of the class to come and participate actively in sport. They will set different kind of gadgets on the football pitch for us.
Okay.
They will bring ball, they will bring things to demarcate the pitch into different segments, encourage us to a kind of training at that level. We did not know the impact those things had on us then.
Now,
I'm sure if you
nowadays it's called teaching practice. At least from the university.
It's called teaching practice, but I don't think
there's nothing.
I don't think
sports.
student teachers.
There's nothing sports.
There's nothing sports
there's
in
nothing
it now.
sports around. I'm yet to find out. I'm yet to. I did a lot of work because I always also work in the education sector across either technology or policy. I'm just around. I'm very passionate about education. Lifelong learning itself has become an obsession for me. And yes, there's nothing sports. I can categorically say that there's nothing sports. I know people who have gone on TP. I know people who are TPing, and I don't think I've ever heard them mention anything around sports. And I also have a vibrant relationship with a lot of youngins in secondary school. I don't think any of them have mentioned that anybody came for teaching practice, or even NYT and brought any innovative sports anything as the norm. And I have conversations.
Wow.
I have conversation with this demography. Often I have a lot of conversations. I mean, across the country, and I don't think I've had anybody say anything like that.
Wow. These days I've not seen it either. It's not something you see these days. But then, I think the people who formulate the education policy back then made it mandatory that sport must be part of education.
That's fine. This is a big takeaway. In fact, thank you so much, sir, for having this time with us. I don't think you told us your name, so I want the people to hear it from you.
All right, sir. Thank you. My name's Richard Olawole.
Yes, you mentioned. I forgot. You mentioned Mr. Richard Olawole.
Yes, I did.
Yes. So you mentioned.
Yes.
I just remembered as you mentioned it again. So I think.
Yes.
I mean, thank you so much for your time for about an hour. This conversation is so rich. I have a lot to go and think about. As regards to policy direction and recommendation, there's a whole lot to write about on LinkedIn from my end, and a whole lot for the Ministry of Education to chew on, and there's a whole lot for our tertiary education system also to chew on. There's also a whole lot for the National Sports Commission to chew on. There's a whole lot for Youth Fund to chew on. I mean, this is an overly incredible episode, and we are barely scratching the surface. Thank you so much for your time, sir. I believe that myself and the bulk of the listeners, and when the production is out, of course, we're going to ensure that the links are out there. It will be great to have your old boys and old girls. I believe the Unity Secondary School you went to, it was mixed, right?
Yes, it was mixed.
So
Yes.
yeah, let me, because I know that the other boys' college is just old boys. So I believe that your old boys and your old girls should be interested, because I mean they are honorable mentions of their schools here. But we look forward to having you next month also, and
I'll be glad to
just
be here.
talking posek, and perhaps we will look at, I mean, if when we get feedback from these relevant agencies and all of those things, I believe you should be in the know, and people like you who have been there, done that, if there's any work that is supposed to be done, we should push that you are part of the conversation and you are part of the change that is being made. Okay, so
Thank you very much.
thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. I just pray that Nigeria gets the whole structure back, so that we have our youth having a lot of productive things to do and rewarding careers to look forward to in sports. I'm sure by the time we discuss to maybe third episode, we'll be able to explore the commercial side of sport as well, and what the potentials are for Nigeria to develop. We have not scratched sports. We have not scratched the surface of commercial sports at all in Nigeria.
That's true, sir. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you for having me, sir.
It's been an honor being here. My name is Chima, and this is Koli once more. Yeah, I mean this has given me a lot of talking points, way much more than anything scripted could have brought up. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and it'll be great to see your comments. Do well to subscribe. Great to see your comments and different things that you have to say, different suggestions. Just feel free to tell us. So let's get Mr. Richard back. Let's get him and so person. Let's get him and so person. Let's just know, and let's see how we can drive these conversations forward. Because if we don't talk about it, if we don't constructively talk about it like we're talking about it now, then our grassroots